You fooled me once, but I ain't falling twice. All lies. Oh Lord, I ain't gonna run. My rise has just begun. I'll shine. Shame on you. Should have seen what you were like. Dangerously nice. You got me all lost. So blind. You got me all lost. Listen to my heart. I gotta be lost. Survive. Now you're all gone, gone, gone.
So, folks, Kenn Rashad, HBCU Sports, decided to do something a little different today. I was bored. And decided, you know what, instead of just recording the scenarios for week 11, how about we just go ahead and do it live and share it on Facebook as well as on YouTube. But before we get into it, by all means, do me a favor. You guys know the routine. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're on Facebook, by all means, take the time to do it as well. And if you'd really like to support us, by all means, feel free to donate to the website at hbcsports.com/donate. And you can also either have the option of donating via PayPal, or you can hit us up on Cash App, and your donation will go a long ways in supporting the channel as well as the operation. All right. So as when we did this last week, there were 4 teams in contention, and there were only 3. Guess who got knocked out? One guess. Okay. But let's take a look at the standings. And as we indicated before, Florida A&M, they've wrapped it up. They're going to be hosting the SWAC championship game on December 2nd. They're in Tallahassee, and they're just simply waiting to find out who their opponent is going to be. Grambling was eliminated last week in their 16-7 loss to Alabama State, and there are only 3 teams remaining right now, and that's Alcorn State, Southern, and believe it or not, Prairie View. And you Prairie View folks got a gift last week, because if you recall, when we did the scenarios last week, you guys needed a Grambling loss. You still need you needed a Grambling loss, and you got that. We'll go into what you need going into this week, but you got that Grambling loss, and guess what? You are very much in the thick of things. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first scenario, which is going to be Alcorn State, currently 6-5 right now, overall 5-1 in the SWAC. And Alcorn is the only team of the three teams that control their own destiny. They just simply need, and by the way, Alcorn State can clinch this Sunday. I was about to say Saturday. The game is on Sunday against Texas Southern. They can actually clinch the game on Sunday if they beat Texas Southern and if Prairie View loses to Southern. Or if for whatever reason that doesn't work out, just win the last two games and it's yours. That's all you got to do. Win on Sunday. A Prairie View loss to Southern on Saturday. You clinch. Everything is academic, and we can just all go our separate ways and just prepare to see Alcorn State and FAMU in Tallahassee. So that's where you guys are. Remaining games, Sunday at Texas Southern, and then November 18th at Jackson State. And so I guess the question is can Alcorn do it? So, but they can't clinch on, not Saturday, but they can't clinch on Sunday, depending on what happens between Prairie View and Southern. All right. So if we take a look at Southern, man, y'all screwed it up last week, boy. I don't think anyone expected that to happen last week. But nevertheless, what was it? 44 to, what was the final score? I forgot what that final score was. It 44 to, yeah, 44 to 21. So anyway, so Southern, you need to win out. You need to win your last two games over Prairie View and Grambling. And you need Alcorn to lose its last two games to Texas Southern and Jackson State. And that's all because of that loss on last Saturday, which now, even if you did win out and they lost, you've got that one loss, you lose the head-to-head. So you have to win the rest of your last two games, and you need Alcorn to lose its last two games. And that's just horrible. And that's not right. Actually, the remaining games, Prairie View is who you play on Saturday, and Grambling in the Bayou Classic. So that's the situation there. And believe it or not, there's Prairie View. And this is wild, because Prairie View needs to win its last two games, and it needs Alcorn to lose one of its last two. Prairie View has the benefit of having defeated Alcorn earlier in the season. So Prairie View has the potential head-to-head, and that's all that they need. Alcorn has one loss? Yeah, they've got 5-1. Prairie View is 4-2. But because of that head-to-head, if for whatever reason Alcorn loses one of those games and Prairie View can win the next two, they literally can sneak through the back door and win the SWAC West. That would be wild. So those are the scenarios. Now, here's what we need to understand with respect to the game between Southern and Prairie View, because that is an elimination game, plain and simple. That I think is safe to say is going to probably be the game of the weekend. Something you had an opportunity to control your own destiny, but that's no longer the case. And Prairie View and Southern, whoever loses that game, season's over, plain and simple. So what do you guys think? I mean, who likely has the toughest road to to winning the SWAC West. You got, let's see, again, you got Alcorn with games on Sunday, so they won't even play Saturday. That game was actually moved to Sunday because of a soccer game that's going to be held in Houston, whoever the Major League Soccer league team is. So that game is Saturday, and Texas Southern and Alcorn have to play that game on Sunday, and then Alcorn will conclude the season at Jackson State. So again, I go back and I think about Texas Southern and the fact that early on they had FAMU on the ropes. I don't know. It's just something about that Texas Southern team. Something about this game doesn't necessarily indicate that it's a gimme. And but then when you put in consideration how Alcorn State played last Saturday against Southern, you know, there may be a huge wave of momentum that could carry them throughout the rest of these 2 weeks, and who knows what we may end up seeing these next 2 weeks. However, when you look at Prairie View's situation, I mean, Prairie View and Southern could potentially, that is the game that's going to determine who remains standing going into that final week. And again, there's nothing that indicates that Prairie View is, or Southern for that matter, for that reason, neither one are world beaters. They're both vulnerable. It's just absolutely amazing that we're at this point. And so I don't know. See, Prairie View, Southern, Alabama State, again, they are finishing strong in the SWAC East. They don't necessarily have anything to play for, but that is still a formidable opponent for Prairie View. So that's still a pretty tough road, those last two games. So, I mean, I don't know what to make of it. I know that the Southern folks, and I guess I don't necessarily want to switch subjects, but, you know, there's been an awful lot of talk about Eric Dooley and his coaching status at Southern. An awful lot. And it leads me to wonder if, depending on what happens these next 2 weeks, I mean, you Southern folks tell me, is he out? If he gets you to the SWAC championship game, is he out? Because there weren't some happy campers there. So anyway, folks, I'm not going to keep this. I'm not going to keep you long. I'm going to keep this brief. I'm actually not planned this trip some time ago. I'm actually heading to Little Rock tomorrow. I'm flying to the game to watch Grambling and UAPB. The high anticipated game. I scheduled this game. There's absolutely nothing on the line. UAPB will be looking for its first conference game. Grambling at this point at 4-5 is just simply playing for a winning season. So I don't know what to anticipate. And that game will be televised on ESPNU as a Friday game. But I will be back in time on Saturday to look at the rest of the schedule. So anyway, folks, by all means, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like I said, just wanted to share the scenarios with you. We'll also post this on hbcusports.com so you guys can see the scenarios for yourself. But by all means, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to us about the scenarios and for us to go over the scenarios. And we'll see you next time.